Hey, you playa, it's difficult sometimes to figure out how to convince a girl to go out on a date with you. Do you make up the plans beforehand and then invite her, or do you work with her to come up with something together? There's a little technique that I used to use back in the day that guaranteed that I had fun and interesting dates with every girl that I went out with. And the best part is, none of them knew that I was doing it. Back in the day, there was a girl that I was interested in dating from the neighborhood. So what I set out to do was to discover one interesting thing about something that she really liked. That one thing for her just happened to be Twilight. She was obsessed with the movies and the books. For me personally, vampire love stories wasn't really my thing, but because I knew she liked it so much, I gave her the space to share her fandom with me. I started asking her questions about who the main characters were, what were the plots of the books, and how they differed from the movies. I gave her this opportunity to really shine in her element and geek out about something that she really liked. As she told me more and more about Edward and Bella and Jacob, I told her right there and then, okay, I'm sold. You and me have to set a date up and we have to watch these movies together. I can't watch them alone. I need you there with me. And the look alone on her face guaranteed that date for me. We made plans, watched the movies together, hooked up, and dated for a while. Everything worked out because I put that technique into play. The key to coming up with a fun and interesting date with a girl is to find something that both of you can get excited about. Start asking her more detailed questions about her life, her hobbies, her interests, things that she's passionate about, things that she's a nerd over. All those things can open up doorways for you to find something that you also want to do too. But I don't recommend lying or faking excitement over something that you really don't care about. The whole point here is to step outside of your comfort zone. Try something new, and if she also happens to like it, that's going to make it a lot easier to set up that date. Here's another story for you. Back in the day, I used to be really into fitness. I'd go running all the time with my friends and we'd hit up the gym almost every single day. Now, there was a girl that was interested in me, and because she saw how much I really cared about fitness, she decided to use that as her in. She asked me how often I go running, so I told her every weekend. When I said that, she told me that she was looking for a running partner, someone to help her get back into fitness, and since I was so dedicated, I was the perfect person to do it. We made a plan that weekend, it ended up being a date, and then later on when we actually were dating, she told me she made the whole thing up just as a way to get closer to me. I fell into it hook, line, and sink. She used something that I like as a way to build a bridge to get closer to me. And because we shared that common interest, I was more open to spending one-on-one time with her. If you're talking to a girl that doesn't really have a lot of hobbies or interests, or you don't really know how to connect with her, you can always default to things that are most likely going to be fun and interesting experiences. That could be taking an art class together, going to a sporting event, visiting an art gallery, doing meditation together, binge watching a TV series, doing an escape room. There are so many fun and interesting things that you yourself may have never tried out that you can do with this other person to make it a fun and interesting date. Sure, you can always make plans to grab coffee together or get a bite to eat. Those are pretty normal, average dates. Nothing wrong with that. But if you want her to be excited about the idea of spending one-on-one time with you, you need to come up with something fun that's going to tap into your interest or hers. Something that you want to explore that you're going to bring her on the ride for, or something that you're going to hype up for her that she's always wanted to do, and you're going to be the guy that she's going to have that first time memory with. One tiny little detail to remember here. If you like this girl and you want to date her, you don't want to showcase big friend energy to the point where she thinks he's a great guy to do things with, but he doesn't actually like me. You want to convey that romantic interest along the way. Yes, you're doing these things, you're stepping out of your comfort zone, but you like this girl. You definitely want to make sure that is known. Otherwise, you might start to realize that she does hit you up to do things, but with other people there. You've now become one of the friends that she likes to do stuff with, and you've lost the whole plot of actually dating her. So tap into the art of curiosity with every girl that you date. Cross things off your bucket list and discover things on hers, because you're only going to learn to be somebody great when you finally learn to put yourself out there. On that note, I'll catch you next time. As always, love and peace.